Hi, my name is Katie Chittick, and I've been a Creative Memories consultant for almost 21 years. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about easy ways to get your pages laid out so that you can get your pictures in. This is called a Power Layouts Kit, and it comes with 15 Power Layout guides, and you can use those to lay out your pictures, but I find it's really easy to alternate a page and a Power Layout guide. So this is an album page, and you would start with a single page because this would be your cover. And then from then on, you would lay out as many pairs of a guide on the left and a page on the right as you have room for on your table. I use my dining room table, and I can lay out 12 to 18 pages on my dining room table. One of the things that this really helps with is I've had all my pictures organized, they're in order, but sometimes you make a mistake. And by laying out multiple pages at one time, it's easy to see where you might have skipped something. So this was a trip to Washington, D.C., and so I would start out by laying out my pictures from the airport when we first left, and then our first dinner when we arrived in D.C. And then we would move on to Jamestown, and I'm just going to lay these pictures out. You do not have to be detailed about it because most likely you'll be cropping some of these pictures, but you just lay them out in the way you think you're going to want them, and you can go back and make adjustments later. The next thing that you would want to do is to put borders or put paper on the pages in whatever fashion you want. I found that I really like pre-making borders to go on my pages, and so I would just go along on all these layouts, and just remember I have a whole bunch of these laid out on my dining room table. I would go through all of these layouts, and I would tuck the paper under so I kind of know what I'm working with. And now I know I'm going to need to rearrange this page because my journal box is under here. So I know I'm going to be going back to do that. But it's just a step-by-step kind of process that you go through. And these borders were made by using our 12-inch trimmer and with a technique called to the left. So my paper would go to the left of the guide and I would cut, and then I would go to the right of the guide and cut. So I have a 4 3/4 inch strip, a 1 inch, and another 4 3/4 as I go back. And then you can flip the papers over to have them accent those borders. And when you have laid out all your pictures, and you want to make sure you leave room for your journaling, you've laid out your pictures, you've laid out your paper, you would go back and adhere everything to the pages, and then this guide represents the back of the page. So I would adhere this page, flip it over, adhere all of this to the back of this page, go on to the next page, and after that would be a guide which goes on the back of this page. And then I have some pages here that show you a little bit about that to the left technique and some variations on that. And you can see that it just makes it very easy to complete a 2-page spread. Occasionally I would need to back something, and I would use a complementary paper that would work with that. But it just makes it very easy to create your borders and then have them to complete your pages. So when you lay it all out at one time so you can see lots of pages at one time, you're much more likely to have an album that you're really happy with.